Okay. Fingers crossed for this server. At least it's a little bit better of a connection. It's blue instead of red, so hopefully this one will work out a little bit better. We might just end up having a little bit of lag, and I guess if there's a lot of delay, you'll just have to tell me and we'll just keep restarting the server, which is going to suck, but here we go. Boy, there it is. Anyway, let's just go ahead and attempt to get this going. Okay, I need to move these cards out of my hand. Let me pick this up here. So we're done. We're done with spring and summer. Get those over there. Okay, so somebody sabotages a project and the project fails as a result. Who did this and why? Or someone is caught trying to sabotage the efforts of the community. How does the community respond? So our two projects right now are the scouting out the village and trying to get the villagers or the settlers or the travelers to join our company. So bear in mind that the second option is to catch them so they don't fail the project, and the first option is one of the projects fails. Okay. So just as we were about to complete this, it turns out that the travelers walk away. They decide they don't want to actually be here. The little girl who's been causing problems has made them convinced them that they don't want to be here. That they're actually better off letting the Lords of Darkness come and take them instead. Okay. So what are we working on this week then? We have, oh, wait a minute. This actually advances first. So we're almost done scouting. Uh, what are we discovering, having a discussion about, or starting a project? Scooby-Doo villainy in our little community. Construct fortifications out of the numerous chests that we don't know anything about. Okay. Let's add that to the project. And how long is that going to take? 4 weeks. Okay. I mean, we're just stacking the chests up on top of each other and making a wall out of it. Okay, moving on. Jesper, you're here? Yes. Okay. So we do. Stream's lagging again. Okay. How far is it lagging? Oh man, that's a. Okay. That was like a good 30-second lag there. So, in the interests of keeping us both up to date. So, 7. A project just isn't working out as expected. Radically change the nature of the project, but don't modify the project die. When it resolves, you'll be responsible for telling the community how it went. Or, something goes foul, our supplies are ruined, we have a new scarcity. And for the supplies, this is where we're at. So a project goes wrong, or we have some scarcity now. I can spin the wheel too. Oh, okay. So they've captured the wild kids? Or they've been caught? Okay. So we're gonna take that off the project. And this is now a problem we have to deal with. The wild children are caught in the other village. Okay. So what now? The kids never came back. And actually that would be the drawing of the cards. So the fortifications are going ahead, but the kids never came back. So what now are we going to do this week? Discover something, have a discussion, start a new project. Okay, so basically we need to find a new group of fighters, right? Arm children and adults. Okay, so everyone chip in on what you think we should do now that our Kids are gone. The wild kids are gone. The wild kids that we spent a month training to be our defenders and scouts, they're now gone. What are we going to do now? Anyone? Okay, yeah. Say how can they work and defend at the same time? Okay. Everyone defends. Okay, so train more kids. Okay, those are the options then. We'll have to consider. Moving on. Untamed Fox. Let's go to number 10. Harvest here is plentiful. Add in abundance. Or, cold autumn winds drive out your enemies. Remove a threatening force from the map and the area. Finally, some good news. Um, we don't really. I mean, I guess the isolated community, but we have, because we tamed the wolves and we got the little girl, I guess, could count. Um, yeah, we don't really have a threatening force. Yeah, I know the stream has been lagging a couple more times. It's like every 5 or 6 minutes it gets a lag spike. Abundance of carbonated water. Okay, so it turns out we found another spring, or opened the spring, or somehow the carbonated water. Whoops! Oh, shit. Uh, is now in abundance, whereas before it was a scarcity. Okay, project comes forward, and whilst you're thinking of something to do, I am going to restart the stream. It's like every 5 or 6 minutes it decides to lag behind. So I've moved the project forward, and now we just need something to do for this week. Discover something. We examine the shabby paintings. They look like painting from Soul Uh, but underneath we discover stuff about the Lord of Darkness. Okay. So let's put that under lore. So it turns out that the paintings containing information about the Dark Lord. So we'll still say we've got the paintings. I'll keep those in the resources. But now we know a little bit more about them. Yeah, well, that will have to be the cathedral, yes. It'll have to be something we discuss a little bit later. Okay, moving down to Pocket Ninja. Oh, and the paintings are restored. Okay. So before we get to that, let me now change resources from shabby paintings to restored paintings. Restored paintings of darkness. Okay. So number 3. Somebody leaves the community after issuing a dire warning. Who is it and what's the warning? Or someone issues a dire warning and the community leaps into action to avoid disaster, and we start a contentious project that relates to it. Yeah. Problems are the old man, the young girl, the doppelganger, the collapsed tunnel, and the wild children are caught. Okay, so we just shoo them out of the village then? We decide we're done with them, and but they just tell us that Okay. Seems to have completely reset a bunch of the things that were going on, but that's a lot better. Okay, so the problem was, or the thing was that someone left the community issuing a warning, or someone just had a warning and then we had a project. So we decided that the old man and the little girl that were causing so much trouble trying to convince everyone to join the forces of darkness have left. And they've warned us that they were just trying to do it for our own good. So, that is no longer an issue with the community. Um, the construction of the chest fortifications goes ahead, and we are now looking at a project, or an action rather, talking about something, having a discussion, discovering something, or starting a project. Okay, so excuse me, maybe that's part of the information that we've learned from the Dark Lord, or from the paintings about the Dark Lord. What we've now discovered by studying that information is that he can project illusions of his minions as warnings and omens, and so the does that pertain to the doppelganger as well, or is that the girl and the old man a part of that? Okay. So is that so we're going to say then that that sort of oh my God, that stupid stream. Gotta wait for the stream to pop back in. Okay. So in other words, we've solved the mystery of the doppelganger then, that he was an illusion projected uh, by the Dark Lord as a warning. As a warning about the cathedral? Let's put it that way. About the cathedral. Cathedral. There. So that has been resolved. Okay, so uh, whilst sifting through the information that we've learned from the paintings, we discovered that the Dark Lord projects illusions of his minions to as warnings and omens. So we've decided that that is why we found that doppelganger in the cathedral. What they All right, maybe that one will be okay. You just have to hope. Okay. So, while this is still operating, hopefully it's still going to be operating for a while. So did we resolve this then? We've determined that the Dark Lord sent the doppelganger as a warning to get away from the cathedral. I brought this Coming of Darkness back into play because we no longer have the kids and we no longer have the group that we tried to get to grow our numbers, so this is now still a problem. Um, and I think that was it because you said we made that discovery. Okay. So we now move on to Zoc, who's not here, right? Not here. So Caleb, let's see, we got Jack. A project finishes early, or if there are no projects underway, restlessness creates animosity which leads to violence. Well, right now we only have one project. It would be the construct fortifications, so I guess that just gets done automatically. But so I guess that yeah, I guess that just kind of it gets that done. It would have been done anyway, so I guess why? Well, because we got it done is the answer to that. That's kind of an anticlimactic event. But we now have in the community we have uh, mystery chest fortifications. I do want to emphasize that it is still a mystery chest. We still don't know what's in them. So maybe whatever's in them creates pretty solid fortifications. Okay, so I guess it's time to pick an action, discover, discuss, or have a new project.